Welcome back to Mahurip. If you're joining us for the first time, find a quiet seat. Today we travel somewhere unhurried. Somewhere that has nothing to prove. The art of wanting less. Parisian luxury as a way of living. We go to the Parisian apartment that lives inside your imagination. The one you've always almost touched. And we ask, what does it actually know, that the rest of the world has forgotten? The room that doesn't announce itself. There is a particular kind of room that stops you in the doorway. Not because it shouts, not because it dazzles with newness, or crowds the eye with objects performing for your attention. It stops you because it is still, because it seems to be waiting for you specifically, as if it arranged itself not for guests, but for the particular weight of your tiredness at the end of a day. This is the Parisian room. Not a style. Not a catalogue page. A feeling so specific it almost has a temperature. It says, "Come in. Sit down. Nothing here is trying to impress you." And isn't that, finally, impressive? Design principle. The most powerful rooms speak in a whisper. The Grammar of Restraint. We are taught, quietly and persistently, that more is the direction of good taste. More fabric, more finish, more statement. But Paris disagreed centuries ago, and never looked back. Quiet luxury is not minimalism. Cold, emptied, performative in its blankness. It is something warmer than that. It is the cream wall left unadorned, because the morning light on plaster is itself a painting worth keeping. It is the sofa chosen not for drama, but for the way it holds a body after a long thought. It is the single antique brass lamp that earns its place not by cost, but by the quality of its glow, the way it turns a corner of a room into somewhere a person actually wants to be. This is restraint as generosity, the gift of not filling every silence. Design principle. Every unnecessary thing removed makes the necessary things more true. What neutral really means. People hear neutral and think safe, cautious, the color of someone who hasn't quite decided yet. But look again. The warm white that holds the gold of late afternoon. The beige that shifts toward sand at noon. And toward honey at dusk. The grey that, in low light, carries the faint memory of blue. Neutral is not one thing. It is a living conversation between a surface and its light. A color that agrees to change quietly, without drawing attention to the change. In a Parisian room, the walls are not a background. They are the longest, slowest exhale in the house. They say, "We are not the point. But without us, nothing else would land." And this is its own kind of mastery. The mastery of knowing when to disappear. Design principle. Neutral walls are not absence. They are generous presence. Linen and the philosophy of imperfection. There is a particular softness to linen that cannot be ironed away. You can try, and it returns. That gentle wrinkle, that slight rumple, the fabric as it breathes, and moves, and settles, into the shape of the life lived beside it. Parisian interiors understand something about imperfection that the rest of the world has been afraid to admit. That perfect things are untouchable, and untouchable things are unloved. The linen drape that pulls just slightly at the floor, not hemmed to precision, but left to fall, as though it arrived on its own, tells the room it is safe to be used, to be lived in, to be real. Paired with the marble that veins imperfectly, and the handcrafted bowl that is not quite round, a room becomes honest. And honesty is perhaps the rarest luxury of all. Design principle. Let materials show their nature. That is where beauty lives. The bedroom as a decision. Sleep is not just a biological event. It is a choice we make about what matters. A bedroom designed with quiet luxury is not a showroom. It is a declaration. It says, "This room belongs to restoration. Nothing here will ask anything of me." The bedding in layered cream and stone. Heavy enough to feel like permission. Soft enough to feel like forgiveness. The upholstered bed frame, curved and unhurried. Like an embrace designed by someone who understood that the edges of things matter. On the bedside table. One lamp, low and warm. One small thing of beauty. Perhaps a single flower in a bottle. One book, left open or closed, equally fine. A gilded mirror catching the morning slowly. As though morning, too, deserves to arrive without rush. This room does not perform luxury. It lives it. With closed eyes and open hands. Design principle. A bedroom is a philosophy. Furnish it accordingly. The kitchen at the center of things. In Paris, the kitchen was never merely functional. It was social. It was conversational. It was the room that knew the household's real rhythms better than any other. Quiet luxury in the kitchen is not about the most expensive stone or the newest appliance. It is about a surface so considered that preparing a simple meal becomes a ceremony. Shaker cabinetry in a muted tone. Nothing competing with the things placed on open shelves. Ceramic pieces chosen not as a collection, but as objects that somehow, without being asked, belong to one another. A small table near the window, where coffee can be taken with patience. Brass hardware that has been touched 10,000 times and is better for it. Not polished to a performance. Just worn, honestly, into something that has become beautiful because it has been used. Design principle. The kitchen earns its luxury through ceremony, not grandeur. Water and stillness. The bathroom as sanctuary. There is a moment in early morning before the day has formed its full opinions. When standing in a particular kind of bathroom, the world asks nothing. This is the room where quiet luxury may matter most. Because no one sees this room the way they see the living room. This one is yours entirely. Marble that reads like a slow landscape. A freestanding tub. Not a spa statement, but an invitation to horizontal time. Wall sconces that understand the difference between illumination and warmth. A vintage tray holding three things. No more. A cloth of real weight draped over a rail. Somewhere. A small vase, a stem, a silence. This bathroom does not ask to be photographed. It asks only to be entered, at the exact moment you most need it. Design principle. The bathroom is where luxury becomes private. Make it worthy of the secret. Texture as the room's true language. Long after the eye has finished its survey, the body is still reading. It reads the wool rug underfoot, the slight resistance, the warmth that travels upward. It reads the velvet cushion under a hand, the way the pile shifts direction, asking to be touched again. It reads the rough plaster wall, beside the smooth, cool marble, and registers, without words, that this room contains the world in miniature. Texture is not decoration, it is depth. It is what separates a room that looks beautiful from a room that feels inhabited. And inhabited is what we are after. Not a room that performs for photographs. A room that holds a person. That makes them feel, for the length of an evening, that they are exactly where they belong. Design principle. Texture is the vocabulary the body uses before the mind has words. Investing in the timeless. The quiet luxury room is not assembled. It is accumulated, slowly, and on purpose. Each piece chosen not for the season, but for the decade. Not for the trend but for the feeling. It will still carry 20 years from now, after it has been lived with, and moved and repaired, and given to someone who needed it. This is the Parisian approach to ownership. Not collecting status, but collecting meaning. The armchair that belonged to an aunt. The table discovered in an old market. Stripped and refinished by hand. The lamp bought expensively once, and carried through 4 apartments, because parting with it was genuinely unthinkable. These rooms are not finished. They are becoming. And that becoming is, itself, a kind of beauty. The beauty of a life visibly, quietly, lived. Design principle. Invest in fewer things. Let each one carry the weight of meaning. Parisian elegance was never exported from Paris. It cannot be bought in a store or assembled from a guide. It is a posture, a disposition, a willingness to stop asking what a room looks like, and start asking, instead, what it feels like when no one is watching. Quiet luxury in 2026 is not a trend arriving. It is a truth returning. The truth that calm is a form of sophistication. That restraint is a form of generosity. That a home, tended with patience and intention, becomes something no amount of money can simply purchase. It becomes a place that holds you. And a room that holds you is worth more than any room that merely impresses you. If something here settled into you, press the like. It carries this to someone who needs it. Tell us in the comments, which room calls to you first? Which space in your home is waiting to learn how to breathe? Until next time, I am Mahurip, and this is your home, finding its voice.